Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from group 3 that will present about the fatwa on festival greetings for Merry Christmas and Gong. Before we start, let me introduce our group members first. The first is Amira Safiah binti Ahmad Asli. The second is Amira Nabila binti Asman, Nur Nabiha binti Kamal Zaman, Nurul Huda Akilah binti Abdul Razak, Siti Hajar binti Omar, and the last one is Umi Sofia binti Asri. So, the content of this presentation consists of introduction, definition, finding of four fatwa, analysis, and the last is summary and recommendations. As usual, we go for the introduction first. As we know, Malaysia is a country of various nationalities and religions, which creates different cultures, customs, and traditions. Although the Constitution of Malaysia designs Islam as the official religion, but believers of other faiths are free to lead a life based on each faith. So each religion has its own festivals and is celebrated on certain dates each year. Therefore, the variety of Muslim offering greetings for non-Muslim festivals such as Christmas and Chinese New Year has been the subject of much debate and discussion and recommendations. Before we go further, what is the history of Merry Christmas and Gong? Merry Christmas, addressing synonymous with joy, kindness, and the birth of Jesus Christ, has a rich history seen back centuries. Merry Christmas early celebration occurred in 2nd century Egypt, gradually solidifying nearby December 25 by the 4th century. A tradition like Christmas trees, gift giving, and the figure of Santa Claus developed over centuries, influenced by both Christians and pagan customs. On the other hand, Gong, wishing you great prosperity, proclaims that the arrival of the Chinese New Year, a vibrant lunar festival deeply rooted in Chinese mythology and tradition. Although the exact origin story is still shrouded in legend, the festival is believed to have begun more than 4,000 years ago, associated with myths such as the Byzantine and the legendary Emperor Yu. A celebration exhibited by family gatherings, festive feasts, festive decoration, and the exchange of red envelope filled with lucky money.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amira Safia binti Ahmad Azli and I would like to continue to the next subtopic, which is definition. Definition for Merry Christmas. According to English Oxford Living Dictionaries, Merry is defined as cheerful and lively. It originates from the classical English word myrit, which means pleasing or delightful. Christmas is an annual festival observed primarily on December 25th as a religious and cultural celebration. Christmas Day is a public holiday in many countries. It is celebrated religiously by a majority of Christians as well as culturally by many non-Christians and forms an integral part of the holiday season surrounding it. The meaning of Gong is a popular Chinese phrase used to wish someone prosperity and wealth during the Lunar New Year or Spring Festival. It literally translates to Gong Xi, which means congratulations or wishing you joy, and Fa Chai, which means to get rich or to prosper. So, while the literal translation focuses on wealth, the broader meaning of Gong Xi Fa Chai is more about wishing someone good fortune, happiness, and success in the new year. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Umi Sofia binti Azri. Today I would like to share the perspective on the topic of saying Merry Christmas from the viewpoint of the Mufti of the Federal Territory. This discussion revolves around Islamic perspectives and the considerations that are made when interacting with non-Muslim individuals during their celebrations. Based on the picture shows, the Mufti of the Federal Territory explained the law of saying Merry Christmas to non-Muslims. So, according to the Mufti of the Federal Territory, as discussed, there are three situations regarding the law of saying Merry Christmas to individuals who are not Muslims. First, stated by the Mufti of the Federal Territory is haram. It is also stated that the Jumhur Ulama of all four mazhab forbid such speech to non-Muslims in conjunction with their celebrations. Thus, in the hadith narrated by Abu Dawud and Al-Tabarani from the words of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, it states that whoever resembles a race, then he is one of them. Hadith riwayat Abu Dawud and Al-Tabarani. The second is the Mufti of the Federal Territory has stated that it must or permissible with condition. According to the contemporary scholars of the past, the speech is required based on mujamalah and good fellowship among human beings. Meanwhile, this is allowed as long as it does not conflict with the teachings of Islam. And lastly, need versus not needed, which means the Mufti of the Federal Territory debate that saying Merry Christmas for Muslims is required when there is a need to say it to the non-Muslims, whereas if there is no need, then the hukum is makruh. For example, that need to say when it aims to maintain good relations and does not aim to glorify other religions. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Amira Safia binti Azli and I will present the second fatwa. Is the fatwa of the Mufti of the Federal Territories Office for Gong. The 78th Muzakara of the Fatwa Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs of Malaysia, which met on 12 June 2007, discussed the law on congratulating Muslim and congratulating them on non-Muslim religious festivals. Muzakara has decided that whatever the practice or conduct of Muslim in matters related to the celebration of non-Muslim, if it is involved faith such as recognizing non-Muslim religions or considering all religions to be the same, then it is prohibited by Islam. However, if the practice or conduct is only on the basis of community or social relations between Muslim and non-Muslims for the purpose of unity, then it is permitted by Islam. Congratulating or sending greetings to non-Muslim in conjunction with the celebration of their religion is a must, provided that the speech does not recognize, praise or glorify the non-Muslim religion and does not use any symbols of their religion in the delivery of the speech. According to the Federal Territories Office, the fatwa regarding Kongsi Facai is as follows. It is permissible for Muslims to greet non-Muslim friends or relatives with Kongsi Facai as long as they do not intend to participate in the ritual or beliefs associated with the Lunar New Year, such as worshipping idols or believing in superstitions. It is also permissible for Muslims to visit non-Muslim friends or relatives during the Lunar New Year as long as they do not join in the forbidden activities such as gambling, drinking alcohol or eating pork. It is recommended for Muslims to use the opportunity of visiting non-Muslims, friend or relative to convey the message of Islam and invite them to the truth with wisdoms and good manners. The Federal Territories Office issued the fatwa based on the principles of Islam that promote peace, harmony, tolerance, and respect among people of different faiths and cultures. The fatwa also aims to prevent any misunderstanding or conflict that may arise from the differences in celebrating the Lunar New Year. I think that's all from me and I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Amira Nabila binti Azman. Now, I would like to continue Fatwa Darul Ifta. Darul Ifta is an institution established in 1985 by the government and judiciary in Egypt. The purpose of it was established as an Islamic center and the purpose of religious legal research in Egypt. It used the Quran and Hadith as the main reference and the view of a scientist to solve related current problem or issues through published fatwas. The institution functions as a religious and legal affair. Among the things are discussed in a religious affair are looking at the new moon to determine the beginning of the Islamic month, issuing statements related to religious issues, doing research and so on. While for legislation, it's involved punishment or fines or action imposed by a person if he commits an offence. According to Fatwa Darul Ifta, regarding the celebration speech for non-Muslim, there is no obstacle for them to greeting or celebrate, especially if they are family, relative, neighbors, and friends and so on. Based on the word of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, Surah Al-Mumtahanah, verse 8. But on the condition that it does not violate the basic law of Islam. According to him, he is also encouraged to congratulate or exchange greetings with them based on the word of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala in Surah An-Nisa verse 86. In addition, according to the fatwa, reciprocating the celebration speech or similar does not mean that a person has fallen into disbelief, but it shows the truth and justice that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala loves. According to the Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 46, all Muslims are ordered to say or utter good word and treat them in a good way so that they can cultivate and introduce the nature of tolerance and harmony in each of them. However, some scholars prohibit Muslims from congratulating non-Muslim in a religious ceremonies. This is not a prohibition that does not allow directly saying something good to them, but a prohibition that shows the confession of disbelief or word that show their confession of a false deeds. In conclusion, according to the Fatwa Darul Ifta, congratulating non-Muslim and accepting invitation to attend the festival is permissible and does not fall into disbelief, provided it does not violate the basic law of Islam.
The next fatwa is ISMAF, ruling on Muslim participation in non-Muslim festivals. Based on the fatwa obtained based on ISMAF, the 29th of 2017, Perlis State Fatwa Community Meeting has decided on several matters as follows. The first is doing good to non-Muslim by Muslim is something that is demanded. However, such an attempt to do good should in no way contradict the creed. The second is attending and participating in non-Muslim religious celebration is not allowed because it is related to the practice of non-Muslim religious rituals or tashabbuh, which is prohibited, which resembles the practice of religions other than Islam. The next is attending a non-Muslim celebration or open house that does not involve religious rituals with Muslim present is allowed if there is a need to do such a thing as family, neighbors and community leadership on the basis of protecting the benefit or the interest of da'wah with the condition that does not please kufr. So through the above, greetings in conjunction with non-Islamic festivals is an issue that raises difference in the view of scholars. Based on reality in Malaysia, it is obligatory to congratulate non-Muslim if the practice become a culture and no longer a religious practice. This is not a sign of unbelief, but this is due to the need to protect the da'wah.
The most complicated interactions between non-Muslims and Muslims in social events are linked to congratulating non-Muslims on special occasions such as Merry Christmas. As such, scholars have different opinions on whether non-Muslims should be congratulated on their religious celebration. To begin with, the first opinion is that it is forbidden to congratulate non-Muslims on their religious celebrations. In general, the vast majority of scholars from all four mazhab forbid congratulating non-Muslim on their religious occasion. Mazhab Maliki Ibn Hajj al-Maliki forbids Muslim from engaging in or performing the acts that non-Muslims perform during their festivities. Mazhab Hanbali Imam al-Buhuti states that congratulating non-Muslim throughout their celebration is forbidden since it is a sort of acknowledgement of their faith. According to contemporary scholars such as Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah bin Baz, Sheikh Muhammad Saleh al-Usaymin, and Sheikh Saleh al-Munajid agreed that one of the pieces of evidence used to determine the prohibition is found in Al-Quran, Surah Al-Furqan, verses 72, translation, and they are those who do not testify to falsehood, and when they pass near our speech, they pass by with dignity. Secondly, it is permitted to congratulate non-Muslims on religious occasions. Amongst the past scholars who agreed that it was permitted was Imam al-Mardawi, a qawlun from the Madhab Ahmad, declared that it is permitted to congratulate the non-Muslims on their festivities if there is a significant advantage, such as the hope that they would be guided to Islam, while Imam Abu Dawud declared that if we are encouraging them to Islam, it is permitted. As indicated by Imam al-Bukhini, anyone who congratulates non-Muslims to glorify their faith is a disbeliever. Nevertheless, if it was a simply statement with no malicious intent, he is not labeled as disbeliever. The most crucial point is to understand, according to modern scholar, is that there are currently is no majority among the scholars that precludes it. According to Sheikh Al-Sharif Hatim Al-Auni, the permissibility is based on the fact that there is no clearly Quranic or evidence indicating the ban or approval of congratulating them. According to Sheikh Mustafa Zaka, it is permitted under the idea of being polite while getting along well with others, and Islam does not forbid it. Whereas Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi declared that congratulated non-Muslim is permitted if they are not at a war or a threat to Muslims. He claimed that the Prophet, peace be upon him, always did acts of kindness and was nice to non-Muslims, since it was, as mentioned in the Quran, translation, being righteous toward them and acting justly toward them. Surah Al-Mumtahanah, verses 8. In his remarks on the fatwas given by Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Qayyim, he consented that congratulating them on their joyous events is permissible. In the framework of his period and situation, Ibn Taymiyyah gave his fatwa: if he remains alive presently and recognize how close we are, he will undoubtedly be more merciful and lessen his fatwa on this matter. Even the Christmas celebration may evolve into a mere tradition. However, this is only permitted if no components are celebrating the prominence of another religion. It is merely words of courtesy from us to them. According to Sheikh Muhammad Sa'id Ramadan Al-Muti, it is permitted to wish the people of the book, Christians and Jews, their state of joy and express condolences on their suffering. Scholars even consider it is as a sunnah. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nabiha binti Kamar Zaman. I will continue the next presentation with the subtopic is argument and dalil about kongsi facai. The phrase kongsi facai means when you receive more wealth or prosperity. As Malaysia is a multi-ethnic, multiracial and multi-religious country, this greeting is also often used by the other races and religion, including the Muslim community. To avoid confusions, there are fatwa and opinion that state the Islamic ruling on giving the Gong Sifat Chai greeting to the Chinese community. Malaysia has successfully built unity in diversity through mutual recognitions and respect among its various races, ethnic cultures, and religions. Elements of the national culture should be accepted if they are suitable and accepted in Malaysia. There are several characteristics of the culture of other ethnic groups in Malaysia that can be accepted, including: first, can be practiced by other cultural customs if it does not affect religion; second, preserving the identity of the community; and lastly, not conflicting with the original culture of the other ethnic groups. Based on the above characteristics, it can be concluded that every festival greetings must have boundaries for prevents religion and race affected. Surely, from the Islamic perspective, there are limitations for the Muslim community. There is a few dalil that argue about other religion festival. Firstly, as stated in Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13, translation: O humanity, indeed we create you from a male and a female and made you into people and tribes so that you may get to know one another. Surely the most noble of you is the sight of Allah is the most righteous among you. Allah is truly all-knowing, all-aware. This surah emphasizes unity in diversity within the Muslim community. In Malaysia, this unity is achieved through mutual respect and understanding among diverse ethnic, religious, and cultural groups. Islamic-based multiculturalism enhances understanding and appreciation of values including tolerance, human rights, equal status, diversity recognition, and fostering good relationships. Secondly, from Surah Al-Mumtahanah, verse 6 state, Translation: Verily in them, Ibrahim and his people, there is a good example for you, that is, for those who hope for the reward of God and safety on the last day, and whoever turns away, and verily Allah is the richest and the most praiseworthy. The explanation from the above verse implies that Allah does not prohibit people from doing good. In Islamic education, this value is also included in practical values, particularly in social interaction, and is also part of the Khuluqiyah values. Khuluqiyah values or moral values are essential for a responsible individual, such as being ethical, well-mannered, and exhibiting behavior that is far from reprehensible action. The celebration of Chinese New Year and the greeting of Gong are examples of respecting and honoring the cultural diversity of the Chinese community. Besides that, in Surah Al-Kafirun verse 6, translation, you have your way and I have my way. The praise emphasized the significance of fostering mutual respect and understanding among individuals, regardless of their religion, culture, or ethnic, enabling them to practice their beliefs without imposing their own while also respecting each other's beliefs. National culture policy emphasized that other culture elements can be accepted as part of the national culture as long as they did not conflict with Islam. This means that the cultural practice of other community can be accepted and respected as long as they did not have contradicted Islamic teaching. Lastly, in Surah An-Nisa verse 86, translation, and when you are greeted with a greeting, greet in return with one better than it, or at least return it in a like manner. Indeed, Allah is ever over all things and accountant. This verse explains that Islam tells us to say good word to people who say good word to us. Muslim scholars permit Muslims to greet non-Muslim during Islamic festival or other festival, as per Surah An-Nisa verse 86. However, they prohibit Muslims from participating in a religious festival, limiting it to celebrate speeches. It also states by other scholars such as Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi and Al-Mustafa Al-Zarqa have issued similar opinions. One of the arguments used by Al-Sheikh Mustafa Al-Zarqa is a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, meaning, indeed, in front of the Prophet, a funeral procession passed by, and he stood up as a sign of respect. He was then informed that it was the funeral of a Jew. He responded, "Is it not a soul, a human being?" Narrated by Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Al-Zarqar stated that the act of standing up was a gesture of respect and honor, and it was not related to the fate of the deceased. This explained that saying congratulations in conjunction with the celebration of other religion does not mean recognition their beliefs, as also as the praise don't bring any forbidden meaning in Islam. The Gong greeting of non-Muslim is conjunction with their religious festival is obligatory. However, the speech must not recognize, praise, or glorify non-Muslim religions and not use any of their religious symbol or emblem in the speech. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Amrina binti Azman. As a conclusion, many Muslim scholars consider it permissible to say Merry Christmas and Gong Xi Fa Cai to followers of other religions during their respective festival. This strive is based on the principle of promoting goodwill, respecting other religions, and appreciating cultural practice. However, it is important to ensure that this speech is a purely out politeness and respect without any belief in the religious aspect of the holiday. Several leading scholars including Sheikh Al-Jum'ah, Sheikh Hamzah Yusuf and Sheikh Ikrimah Sabri supported this permission. In situation where there is a doubt or concern about the permissibility of participating in a particular cultural or religious practice, seeking guidance from a trusted Islamic scholar or authority is recommended. This ensures that the individual receive informed advice specific to their circumstance, helping them navigate the complexities of a cultural exchange while upholding Islamic principles. In short, this recommendation encourages individuals to approach the celebration speech with sincerity, focus on shared value, and seeks guidance when needed. This thoughtful approach aims to facilitate positive interfaith interaction, contributing to more inclusive and respectful coexistence among people of a different faith and background. That's all for our group. Thank you so much.